Hey, I hope you guys have had a wonderful, happy new year and an awesome Christmas rest as well. And I'm certainly excited to be jumping into 2019 and really unleashing some cool things, getting excited about what's ahead and really starting to plan and create all of that awesomeness for the year that's going to follow. So how do we make New Year's resolutions stick? And a few of you may have jumped on and seen my post, or perhaps even seen my newspaper article about how to beat bad habits or how to make New Year's resolutions stick. Hey Di, great to have you on, honey. And so I wanted to really, I guess, distill what are the three biggest differences that have made a huge difference in my life. For me, if we're not following through with these things, we'll tend to feel a bit paralyzed, a bit stuck. We could set really good intentions and have really great intentions, but the follow through just may not be there as well. Hey Chris, good morning. Great to have you on here. Send me some love on a Friday morning, particularly if this resonates or you really find a couple of these pieces really helpful for you as well. But definitely, we can get stuck. We can take on too much and get all pumped up and all excited at the start of the year, only to fall flat on our face either a couple of weeks or a couple of months later. And it can be quite disheartening and really super frustrating. And so many people experience this. I think it had in the paper, I'm just trying to remember, I think it was like 83% of New Year's resolutions fail. And there's a huge reason for that. Huge reason for that. So a lot of the time it's, we're not, we'll focus on it once per year. And as you and I both know, that's just not enough to be able to keep that level of focus. And a lot of the time we set these intentions, obviously when we're on holidays, when we've got some extra time and space and energy and everything else. And when the real, real life kind of kicks back in, we go back to work, or we, go back to running our business or whatever it is that we're actually doing, then it's a lot of the time that's when things tend to go awry or things don't follow through. Or like anything, anytime that we feel called to grow or to step into a new space, we will be tested. We will have obstacles. We will have things that come up. Hey Linda, great to have you on, honey. We will have things come up that, really can challenge us. And without these three keys, you may find that, it's just too big of an obstacle, or you're not overcoming those obstacles and moving forward. And it's frustrating to get at the end of the year and go, man, I was going to do so much this year, or I was going to do this and this and this, and to have those same goals on the list year in, year out. And I've had a few goals like that. But I think it's also important to really discern what is super important to you. And I know for myself personally, the last few years, the things that have been absolutely critically important to me have been the things that have got done. So we all obviously, have different values and different things around what it is that we're wanting to achieve. So knowing we can do anything, but we just can't do everything at the one time. So number one, get really clear. Hey Simone, great to have you on, hun. Hey Jerry, get really super clear, guys, on what is most important to you. I love to do like a massive big brain dump at the start of the year, get everything kind of out, like what are my life goals, what are my dream visions, and a lot of them are very similar to the year before in many ways, but there's always something new that kind of pops through, or something else that I hadn't thought about, or a place that I want to travel to, or anything like that. So I do a massive big brain dump, and then I always pick what are my top 4 goals. And you want to make sure that with your top 4 goals that they're going to help you achieve a couple of your other goals as well. And that's where we can kind of really start to stack things in an amazing way and achieve multiple goals by focusing on the most important goal as well. Hey Deb, great to have you on, honey. So when we're super clear about what those goals are in particular, hey Christy, it's so important obviously to distill what that particularly is. So for example, the first one might be getting physically fit, or you might want to go on a trek or a hike or travel, and so getting physically fit and taking care of your money might be 2 areas obviously that's going to really make sure that you can hit that travel goal as well. So it's just an example of how we stack. But number one key is we must have courage. I see so many people, and I've been in that place so many times myself as well, where we have a big dream, we have a big vision, and honestly, the more important that the dream or the vision is for you, the greater your fear about that is going to be, because it's super important. So missing out on it, fear of disappointment, fear of failure, fear of success, sometimes like fear of actually getting it, sometimes can also come up. But there's all of those different fears, those different obstacles, and of course, it really is about who we get to become along the way, as opposed to the end destination. It's really, I know it sounds so cliche, but in my experience, it's who I get to become, because I need to be more disciplined, or because I need to be more focused, or because I need to learn more skills, or because I've got to develop more compassion, or because I've got to show up in a larger, more expanded version of me, because that's all the mind and the limitations. And it's why we haven't actually already got that goal, because there's been some limiting beliefs, there's been some things either that we haven't followed through on, or we haven't taken action on. And it takes courage to continue showing up, and particularly if things aren't always working. Success is never a straight line, and it really does take the courage. And I think total vulnerability as well. I think we can't actually have courage without that level of vulnerability, because it's the vulnerability of being scared. It's the vulnerability of making a mistake. It's the vulnerability of not knowing what we're doing. And let's face it, like, I love Emma Isaac's book, Winging It, simply because she talks about, we're all just winging it. Nobody's got this stuff figured out. And anybody that actually has achieved like a certain level of success certainly didn't know the exact pathway they were going to take to get there when they first started as well. And I think it can trip us all up at times, is we get so hooked onto the how, or I don't know how, and so therefore we don't even start with the first step or the second step that we actually intuitively know that we should be taking. And it's like, and that's that need for certainty, it's that buy-in, it's that wanting or that grabbing it, needing certainty. And in my experience, I've never known like the following steps. I might have known one or two steps of, yep, I need to do this, and then I need to do that, and then I've got no clue. And so then I'll ask for more divine guidance after I've moved through those steps, or those steps start to create momentum, they start to create opportunities where other things come in, and it's like, it feels then like the right next logical and intuitive step to take. But we get stuck in fear, and we become paralyzed, and we don't take action on those first few steps simply because we're lacking the certainty. And that comes from showing up for ourselves. It comes from building that self-belief of, falling over, picking ourselves up, keeping on going when we need to as well. So number one key to making 2019 an incredible success is have courage. And of course, we cannot have courage without having fear. So the fact, if fear is showing up, and in my experience, anytime I go for a big goal, when I'm getting out of my comfort zone, fear will just naturally be there. For a long time, I believed I just need to figure out a way of how to smash that fear once and for all, how to get rid of it. No, it will always show up, because it's the barrier, it's the limitation, it's the obstacles that we need to grow through in order to become that expanded, more largest and truest version of ourselves along the way as we're actually taking action. Number two is live from your heart. I've had so many conversations with people recently where they're not tuning in, they're not listening to what is most important to them. Either, we're climbing the ladder of success on the wrong building. We've all heard that. It's, again, quite cliche, but it's so goddamn true. Like, so many times we can be putting our time and our energy and effort and our whole heart and soul and everything into something that just actually isn't right for us. And whether that's a job, whether that's a business, whether that's a relationship, whether that's just even in how we're actually showing up in our personal life or professional life, all of those things, it really is tuning in. What is living from your heart? What does that mean for you if you were to design a life that was purely like, and I know it's so difficult sometimes to do that. We've got to kind of, if we've got other obligations or we've got other commitments, like we're raising a family, we've got to take all of those things into consideration. Obviously, if we've got people people that are depending on us. We can't just wipe all of those responsibilities. But in order to get really clear, I normally take out like 1 to 2 days every single year, and times during the year as well, to be in my own energy. I'm very empathic, so I feel like a lot of what other people are feeling, and so it can be difficult for me to discern, is this something that I'm really wanting, or am I just doing this because it's what somebody else really wants as well? And I think it's a super valid question. We all have that ego survival mind that wants to fit in, that wants to belong, that wants to be accepted, and that can be really, really challenging, because the fear of not fitting in, the fear of rocking the boat or doing something out of the ordinary can be so large that it really can debilitate us as well. So that's where we need that courage to be truthful and honest, not only with ourselves, but also with others, with what's most important, with honoring our feelings, with respecting our feelings, valuing our time. All of those things are super, super important. The third thing is taking great care of your physical body. Because let's face it, if we're not doing that, if we're not honoring ourselves, living from our heart, living with courage and truth, but also not taking great care of our physical body, we're not going to have the energy that we need to in order to pursue, in order to show up, in order to be that largest, grandest person. And I don't know about you guys, I know when I'm physically tired, I become less emotionally resilient. I find things more challenging. I find things more difficult. I tend to get in that negative Nelly headspace where my head just won't stop talking. There's all sorts of things that play out when I'm physically exhausted and tired. And so taking exceptional care of your body, it allows you to be in the clearest, truest energy for yourself, to get that inner guidance. If your body is loaded with sugar, if it's loaded with caffeine, if it's loaded with alcohol or cigarettes or any of that stuff, it's going to be much harder to tune in and to discern those messages from your inner guidance, because it's kind of like having pipes flow through to us where sorry, I'm just having a bit of a head spin at the moment, which is really quite interesting, talking about physical health and well-being. I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. I'm not quite sure what's happening with my energy at the moment, but it's very interesting. I'll check in with that after, but definitely, like, we need to be the clearest conduit. So if we've got, it's like having crystal clear water come out of your tap. If you've got muddied water, there's all these other things kind of like contaminating it, and so you're not going to get the clearest guidance, or the clearest intuitive guidance around what it is that you need to take action on. And so by taking amazing care of your physical health and well-being, also helps us live more truly from our heart as well. And it can be tricky to discern, the voice of fear from the voice of intuition sometimes. But what I can tell you is the voice of intuition will always be calm. It will always just be repetitive, but in a soft, gentle way. It's never forceful. It's never angry. It's never demanding. It's never controlling. All of those things are the voice of ego or the voice of fear. Your intuition, even if it's a warning, will just be clear. It's like, don't do that. Like, it won't have any emotional kind of mess in it. So the more that we can take great care of our physical health and well-being, drinking great clean water, obviously 2 to 3 liters minimum per day. Hey Crystal, great to have you on, honey. Eating amazing nutritious food. I said to a client yesterday, we were talking about health and nutrition, and if you think about it, we are energetic beings. We are alive with life force. When we pass, if anybody's been in that experience, you will know that it's very, very different seeing a body with life force in it and seeing a body without that. And I don't mean to be so kind of blunt about that, but it's very distinct. And as the same, if you have a piece of fruit that's been picked, weeks and weeks prior, and you've got a piece of fruit that's like fresh off a tree, you're going to notice a massive difference in the life force energy. So you can only imagine things that we're eating out of a cardboard box, if that's pastas, rice, processed foods, biscuits, chips, like all of those things, how dead that actual food is. And our body thrives on taking in energy. So the more energy that we can supply through natural sources is going to buoy your energy, is going to have you feeling crystal clear, and tuning in, listening to that inner guidance, and showing up with more courage, because you're going to feel better in yourself. You're going to have greater emotional resilience as a result of that as well. So that's it for my video today. Literally those 3 things to truly make 2019 an incredible success is show up with courage. Courage can only appear when we are fearful. If we're not scared, we're not living outside our comfort zone, we're not really stretching ourselves, we're not growing in the way that really can be exhilarating and that we can feel super proud of by December 2019 as well. Know that you're going to be faced with challenges. Know that the obstacles are going to show up, because that's life wanting us to grow. That's life helping us to grow, to step into that space even more. Hey Nick, great to have you on, honey. So definitely showing up with courage. Number 2, living from your heart. Get clear, get truthful with yourself, and get honest with yourself and with others as well. This is so important. If you don't know what you want, if you don't know what you're focusing on, or what you're moving towards, or what's most important to you, or what your values are, you're going to be swayed continually by everybody else's opinions, by everybody else's values, by everybody else's agendas. And 5 years can go by pretty quick, where you wake up and go, how the hell did I get here? What happened? And it's because we're not being conscious every single day with what's lined up for us, what works for us, what doesn't work for us, and really honoring and respecting our feelings. And lastly, it's taking amazing care of our physical health and well-being. I'm on an amazing physical journey at the moment myself. I'm working with one of the top physique coaches in Australia. I'm super pumped to be working with her. I've got some big goals around that for 2019 as well. Very daunting, very much outside my comfort zone. Already lost 5 kilos and feeling so much better within myself as well. So I'm looking forward to creating some abs and some exciting things in this year as well, moving forward, as well as really just stepping into that next phase of empowerment, and bringing some amazing, incredible people along the way with me. If that resonates for you, if you're unsure of kind of where you're at, you're not 100% clear of what you need to be focused on, or perhaps you need some help in finding your courage, living from your heart, or taking great care of your physical health and well-being, I've got some amazing programs going on. We all know that accountability trumps everything in how we actually show up for ourselves as well, and in keeping us accountable. And it's one of the main reasons why most people fail, or the resolutions don't stick, is simply because they haven't created that system of accountability, whether that's with somebody else, whether that's with a mentor, whether that's with a coach, whether that's with somebody that they're working with. But the accountability is absolutely critical as well. And so I definitely invite women into my Inner Circle Mastermind. It is a incredible platform for empowerment, for moving forward. It's at such a reasonable price. It is group coaching. You get a weekly lesson. There's loads and loads of really powerful stuff in that. Every month we're working on a different life area, whether it's money, whether it's relationships, self-love, confidence, business purpose, passion, whether it's fun, adventure, travel, manifesting, loads and loads of things in there that we're going to be working through, again, at a deep level, to get clarity on, to help you move forward, and to keep you accountable to all of your weekly, monthly, and yearly goals as well. So it's going to be an incredible movement that we're really creating. We had some amazing women go through that last year, and they got some really fantastic results. Definitely move forward in a powerful way as well. So if that resonates for you, please send me a PM. I can send you the link on that. You can check it out and see if that's a great fit for you moving forward. Otherwise, if you're looking to get healthy and well, again, just reach out to me, let me know. We have an amazing whole foods product that has certainly changed my life, certainly changed my digestive system in such a powerful way. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, please let me know. And otherwise, have an amazing 2019. Get those goals down on paper. That's the first step. And then decide what your top 4 are. Get them front of mind. Get them in front of you every single day, and be taking action on those daily as well. Lots of love. Have an amazing day. Bye, guys.